Sorry for technical reasons, there will be no animation. Hello and welcome. Today I read in an online newspaper that the Department of Work and Pensions Secretary Ian Duncan, this man, is going to put people's benefits onto prepaid cards to stop us buying alcohol and drugs. I don't do drugs, so that's fine by me. But alcohol, I do occasionally tend to like to have a drink, but I'm not one of these people who like to go out on the piss every single night, or whenever they can afford to do it with the amount of money what the government claims that we should be able to live on, but they don't take into the fact of single males living by themselves, but we'll get back to that another day. Uh, when I read about this, I was thinking to myself, this isn't ever going to work. It's currently in trials in somewhere in the UK, but thank God it's not around where I am because I can tell you it most certainly won't work. There is loops, but I have already thought about of how I would be able to buy the stuff that I wanted. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you, just in the off chance this does come through. I'm not exactly going to spread it around the world of how I'm going to cheat this stupid prepaid card. I have other stuff that I want, what I want to buy offline, and so I'm able to do things like this. But with this prepaid card, by the looks of things, the only thing I'm able to go and buy is fucking bread and milk. Yes, okay. Well, milk, I'm not particularly bothered about. I don't in particular drink milk. I have it in my cereal like once every full blue moon, but that's about it. Bread, yeah, okay, I eat a lot, but that doesn't mean I want to just spend the rest of my time eating bread and milk, because this is all this card's going to allow me to buy. Also, with the part of cigarettes, I do smoke, and so do many others who are on benefit smoke. Is this card going to allow us to buy cigarettes? I wouldn't have thought so, to be honest with you. But then I would just do it through the loophole of which I've thought about how to bypass this situation if it was to come into effect. A while ago I sent an email to this Ian Duncan through the Number 10 website, and surprise surprise I don't have um, a response back from him because he's far too busy trying to make people's lives a fucking misery. Many people who have commented on on the online newspaper website which I read, it's a lot of people are thinking, well, I've worked for so many years, I've paid into the system, and now you're telling me that I can't buy what I want to with the money which I've given the government what they should have gave me, what they're supposed to give me back in duration. Yes, the majority of that people are people who are looking for pensions. The scheme does state that it's not going to do it with that, it's really going to do it with job seekers allowance. Yes, a lot of people on job seekers allowance do this. They do tend to go out and just buy a load of shite with their money. I don't buy, well, I buy a fair amount of shit, but I'm still able to pay what I have to pay in some ways or another. Also supposed to stop people taking out loans against stuff and all that sort of stuff. That's not going to help either. There's no way you can convince every single loan company and say, if you have one of these things, don't even bother. Uh, don't think about them. Just say decline them on this and this and that. But then again, I could just do it through the loophole what I've managed to find. If it, well, it should work. I'm pretty confident that it should work. Uh, there is a fair amount of people who actually are tend to actually want this to go ahead. They think it's going to be a good idea, but I can tell you something, it won't. And do you want to know why it won't? It's because I believe that crime will go up because people will most certainly, if they can't get the product they want, they're going to start stealing for the product they want. It's simple as that. Everybody's going to do it. Well, apart from me. And possibly Tom, Dick, and Harry down the road might not do either. I know for a start. I know I wouldn't start going out stealing things, but it will happen. People will go out and start stealing alcohol if they're not able to buy it. It's a fact. You know this is going to happen, but still they might go ahead with this. By 2016 they want this to happen. But if it happens, I hope they're going to start employing more bobbies because we're more certainly going to need them. And shops are going to have to, especially if they sell alcohol, up their security because people will start stealing alcohol. A lot of people are saying that the United Kingdom is going to become a lot more like America. Yes, it's going to become like America. We're following America in so many different ways, we're, but it's not going to work here because we're too settled in the way that we run things. There is a couple of things what we can do to um, save up money for the country, but doing this most certainly isn't going to help in any ways whatsoever. The prices of alcohol, cigarettes, and all that are going to plummet because obviously, if the people who normally buy them, people on job seekers allowance, or people who are going to be coming onto this scheme who buy alcohol, obviously can't buy alcohol, so in which case the alcohol companies are not going to sell as much as product as what they did. So in that turn, they're just going to fuck up that company. But obviously they don't seem to take it like that, do they? In this country, we're supposed to have the Human Rights Act. But as far as I'm concerned, this is getting stripped away from us more and more every year, depending on what chuffing idiot is sitting at number 10 deciding what we should do. Yes, we are taking money from people um, who do pay into the system, but eventually we're going to have to start paying this money back in one way or another. We will eventually have to work if the government gets off their ass and actually makes the people who generally don't want to work pay into the system. They also keep going on to this where we have to work for this money. Every time I go to the job centre, they're telling me if I fail to apply for a job or don't do a certain thing, they'll stop my money because that's what they pay me to do. They pay me to search for jobs. So as far as I'm aware, that is what they're paying me for. They're not paying me to be a fucking slave labour. If they want to give me a set of bin bags and one of these stupid grippy things, then by all means I'll go out. But I most certainly am not doing it for the amount of money they give me. They do not pay me enough to make me go out and do that. It will not happen. They're probably going to say to me, oh well, that means you won't get any job seekers, blah blah blah. That's fine by me. I'll fucking more than happy go live off the grid somewhere and go off cash in hand if that's if that's what you want me to do. If you want me to do something, I will do it, but you'll have to pay me what the job is worth. They're also coming into this thing where they're going to make send people from Job Centre Plus into school so they can attack your 15-year-olds before they even have a chance to think about going onto the benefit system before they leave. They will only be entitled to 6 months on job seekers allowance, or they will be forced to go on to an apprenticeship for a small amount of money. It probably exactly what they receive now, maybe a £10 more over, but then they have to take into consideration if they do that means we're still going to get into even more debt because it's not going to be possible. If I went onto an apprenticeship, which obviously I'm out of the age range now, as far as I'm aware, they'll stop things like housing benefits, tax benefits, then that means I'm going to plummet even more, then I'm just going to get into even more debt. And it's the same for the majority of people around here, I can guarantee that. I just read a comment, I'll put it up on the screen now. And then you can read the sub-comment. This is what I'm talking about. This is what people are going to do. They're not going to sell the whole card because I'm pretty sure the Jobs Centre, Department of Work and Pensions will put in some sort of security that they can't sell it in such ways. Next thing you know, I'm going to have to fucking carry a passport around for me so I can buy my fucking bread and milk. But on the comment, on the reply to the first comment, so they can starve to death happily, where are we going to get food if they've swapped them for booze and baccy? Well, they're not going to sell the whole entire card. Some of them might, because obviously a lot of people do generally don't even bother with food. They might eat the very basic amount of what they want to. They're not going to sell the whole entire thing. A lot of people are generally angry at people who are on job seekers allowance because we are just taking money what's been paid into the system. But then, what do you think the man who makes this decision, the guy who sits at number 10, the guy who sits in his big massive office writing on expensive cotton paper, he's doing exactly what we're doing. But you're probably thinking, but he's doing something to earn that money. He's doing what? Going on camera, telling people what people of the UK can and can't do? What's the fucking point of him? Well, that's all I have to say in this matter. If it goes ahead, it goes ahead. And thanks for watching, and hope to see you again.